back to Humble Acres. So in this video we are going to be tearing down this garage. This is actually my neighbor's garage, but they don't want it anymore. It's kind of in the middle of their backyard and it just blocks a lot of their view from their house and all this stuff. So they don't want it, and I have a perfect place to put it. So in that one of the last videos, we were fixing up that foundation, and this is the garage that we're going to put on it. So you can see it's a fairly old garage. It originally had like knob and tube wiring in it up here, and there's like this beam that runs across, and then there's a little loft up there as well, which is pretty cool. And you can see that there is only one 2x4 holding up the whole center of the roof. And it looks like there might have been another one right here at some point that was cut out, but the center of this roof is bowing really bad in the middle. So, well, not really bad, but bad enough to where it needs some help. And also this 2x4 is also not sitting on the beam, so there's not really very good support there. So yeah, it's going to be tricky to take this down, obviously. I'm not going to be able to move it all in one piece because that's just not going to be possible for the width of the road that we have over there. So we're going to take it apart in sections. My plan is to take the roof in 4 sections. So we're going to take like a square and then a square and a square and a square. So 4 sections. And that's probably going to be the first thing we do. Actually, the first thing we're going to do is take this garage door off of here. And then we're going to start cutting into the roof. The walls we're going to take all in one section. I am hoping that my tractor can lift those up. The end wall, this wall is going to be the heaviest one because it's got the peak in it as well. Give me a little prayer and hopefully everything goes okay. So let's get to taking this door off. Now it's very heavy, but should be able to take it off now. And just like that, we got the garage door down. I'm still going to take these brackets down because they'll be in the way, I'm sure, so that'll be the next thing. So I got both of the tracks all the way down now, out there on the tractor. And the last thing I have for the garage door is this opener, which wasn't plugged in, so I assume it's not working, so basically just scrap metal. Alright, so I got the garage door opener down. It's actually the next day because I found a whole lot of wasp nests in here, so I kind of quit for the day and came back this morning, sprayed all of them down, so hopefully we should be good now. What I'm going to start doing now is bracing everything that I'm going to take apart. Let's start with the roof because that's the first thing that's going to come off, and then we'll go from there. Just have to put a screw like that in each stud. I got these braced, triangulated, should be plenty. With all those other boards on there like that, going this way, with this one diagonal and the rafters this way, it's gonna be plenty strong enough to stay square and stay together. So now I want to do all these walls because once I take the roof off, I feel like these walls are going to get a little weaker. I got all of the walls braced up now. This back one, I didn't have another 2x4. I'll have to go get another one to put right there. And then I might also do another one up on top on that side too, because it's a bigger wall. But for the most part, that's it. The roof's all done, and that's coming off first. So now I have to try to figure out how I'm going to do this. This is the start of the tricky bit here. So I've decided that this loft is actually going to be in the way of getting the roof off, as the boards kind of cover where I need to be able to cut. So I'm going to rip this out real quick. It seems to be coming out pretty easy. I already got a couple boards out over here. And this board actually isn't supporting the roof. It's actually holding up the loft. So that'll just be that much less stress on the roof as well, getting this out of here. So let's get this out of here. Tricky to get out of here, but it's the exact length of the ground. Actually, I'm probably just going to cut one end of it off. Hopefully the rest of the loft comes down easy. Well, that should at least make it a little easier. I think I'm just going to cut it right down the center, and then maybe I can pull half of it off at once. Yesterday I finished up bracing everything. I braced this back wall a lot more because it was kind of weak right in the middle here. And I also put this in the middle between the two walls because as I cut out the roof, it's going to want to push out on the walls more because there's not going to be as much support in the roof. So hopefully this will keep the walls from bowing out too much. But the first thing we're going to do is start cutting this section of the roof out. So what I've decided to do is start on this 2x4 here, and I'm going to cut just on this side of the 2x4 here. And then I'm going to cut on this side of this 2x4 here. And this section is going to be what's going to come out. I'm leaving a little bit on the front right there, and this overhang or the eave right there, because this 2x4 that's on here is kind of tied into the front of this wall. So I'm just going to leave all that roof a part of the front wall, and I'm going to do the same on the back wall. It's time to just start cutting and hope and pray that it goes okay. Alright, so as you can maybe see, I got that cut all the way up to the peak and all the way down, and also same with that one right there. You can kind of see the light coming through. So now we have to cut the 2x4s off right on top of there, basically where the nails go in. We need to cut those 4 2x4s out, and then we need to cut the ridge all the way across. So before I do that though, I want to get the tractor hooked up to it, because once I cut these out, there's basically not going to be anything holding it anymore. So I'm going to get the tractor around up there, get the paddle forks on, strap it on, and then we'll go from there. Well, as you can see, there's a nice big hole in the roof, so I learned a lot from that first one. It was a little sketchy, but the other 3 should go a lot easier. Well, kind of. I did learn that this one I'm not going to be able to take off with the tractor like I did the first one because of that deck right there. I barely had enough room for this one, and that deck is going to make it impossible to take that one off the same way. So what I'm planning on doing now is I'm going to do the same method for this and that one. I'm going to take those off now, and I put a support here So when I take this off, this will be supported, and when I take that one off, this piece will be supported by this board right here. We're gonna do the same method on this one, so let's get to it. Alright, so I got both sides of this roof down. The second one was kind of tricky. I've learned that I really need to have the straps and everything centered on the piece I'm cutting off. That makes quite the difference. So on this one, I actually have 5 full 2x4s on this, because we're going to cut right on the other side of this 2x4 here. So this one is the center, so I lined my forks up with that one, and then I'm putting a strap right around that one as well, so it should be way better than the last ones. I'm gonna get this all strapped up and then we'll be good to go. I forgot to film it, but this was the easiest one yet. We got the third section off. I forgot to record some because I'm really just trying to get this done at this point, but that one was the easiest one by far. It might be because it has a lot more bracing on it. It had an extra 2x4 on the outside edge, so that made it sturdier, and also I made sure to get it centered when I was lifting it up with the tractor. So now we just have to figure out this last one, and it's going to be a little trickier because I can't come at it from the outside because there's a deck over there. I'm thinking what I'm going to do right now is this 2x6 here, I need to move over to the center over here, and then take that one out, and then I'm going to take my tractor in here, come in and hold it up over here, and then cut this and then let it down with my tractor to the ground. That's the only real way I can think to do this one. So that's what we're gonna try. have to do is strap it on there. And then cut the nails off, pull it off. Alright, hello everyone, we're back for another day. We got all the roof off last night, as you could have seen. And now we're starting with this back wall, mostly because it's the heaviest and it has the least bracing. So this front wall has these two diagonals, so that one will stay, and these two walls should stay just fine without this one. So what I did was I put a 2x4 across here. I cut some holes in the siding for the forks to go through, and then we're going to lift it off of that 2x4 right there. And then I also cut a hole in the top up there so I could strap to the top of the pallet forks so it wouldn't want to fall this way at all. So all we have to do now are cut the corners and then cut off the anchor bolts. So there's 3 of those we have to cut off. Probably gonna do the anchor bolts first, and then I'm gonna cut the corners out. Alright, so I cut a hole, same as I did the other wall, and then I put a 2x4 across to help brace the wall. Everything's cut out, and the bolts are all cut off, so I should be able to just lift it up now. sorry about the wind if there's a noise. The plan is to lift this end off of here and take it and let this one just fall down. Because bracing is just too much trouble and it's not going to hurt it just to fall into a flat surface. Hopefully it falls this way. If it doesn't, oh well, it'll be fine. So we're going to take that, let that fall. Hopefully it goes well. Alright, well that is the end of the garage disassembly. I'm sure my neighbors will be happy that they have their patio here, and I'm happy I have the garage, so I just have a lot of cleanup to do, and then we'll go over and assemble it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.